Hey, welcome to issue 59 of Common Comic Covers. I am Jeremy.
I'm Andy still.
Yes. Hi, Andy.
Hi.
Andy, I want to clear up. You mentioned something good, and it was completely unintentional.
Uh-huh.
Last week, I might have made it sound like I felt that you were
I am
struggled with.
literate.
Yes. And I was actually trying to do the opposite because we were doing a review and it was a classic Steve Gerber book where he just
Mm.
overloads the pages with text. And I was going to say that, but I was like, well, I don't want it to sound like Andy doesn't like comic books that have a lot of text. So that's what I meant to say. And it really just came out more of like some kind of passive aggressive, hey, buddy, nice try.
Yeah.
Um,
We know you don't like to read.
Look at him. Well,
Mm.
anyway, here we are.
Oh,
A lot going on in the world, a lot in life, and
yeah.
I'm just going to embrace, and I'm materialistic, and I like comic books, and that's what
Yeah.
that makes me happy. Obviously,
Oh,
other things make me happy too, but man,
I like
I lo-
escapism.
this is
That's
great. And
yeah.
so join us, subscribe, like, follow. We're going to say lots of different things. Please leave a
Yeah.
comment and escape with us right now into the world of comic books. Andy, we're going to look at our common comic cover as we do every week. You're going to show me a what's it worth. I'm getting better at guessing
You have no shot on
uh,
this one.
the
No.
price. I'll stop then. I poorly guess the price of a comic book that someone just bought. And then we have our inbox of what we're buying or getting. And then our second installment of a comic book review.
Oh, and
Really exciting.
I do have a tour that I just was like, oh, I just read these books. This will be a fun tour.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, we'll
So,
do that. Tack that on.
I got it. It's on there. All right, Andy,
This is a
lead
show
us
on the
off
fly.
with. Whew, it's good. Let's see how we do.
Okay,
We rehearse, so I'm
so
at
yeah,
rehearsal we didn't have the tour, so let's see how
try
we
it.
do.
Try
But
it. Yes.
okay, anyway, this is the part of the show, Andy, where you show us a comic book and talk about it.
All right. This is Batgirl
Oh yeah,
Special #1.
yep.
It's a Mike Mignola cover, and I saw it again today for the first time, and I was like, there's a lot of Frank Miller in this, I feel like. And that is, but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's a
Feels like
great,
that's a little bit, it's affordable, so it's a little bit of an underrated comic cover.
I
I mean, people
think,
have seen it, people have this book, but
yeah. I want it. I don't have it in a Canadian price variant. There is a Canadian price variant version of this. I do not
I
have
know I
it.
sent it to you. I sent you a link to it.
I
It was a
yeah,
mid grade.
yeah, if I'm gonna spend money on it, I might as well just
Go
get a nice
go
one if
big,
it
go
exists.
big on it.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean like $30 more would probably get it a lot better grade. But this is a 9.8 regular edition. I just love the cover. I think it's really cool. This is cheap. But Batgirl retires in this. And then the
Okay.
next time she just gets shot by the Joker in the Killing Joke. It's kind of the next appearance or
Wow.
whatever of her.
Wow.
Yeah, their
Didn't
ad for
even
the Killing
didn't
Joke's
even
in
get
here.
to didn't even get to collect her pension.
Well, she didn't die, but yeah, she just
Well,
got.
no, when you retire.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Batgirl doesn't get a pension though. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, what is the pension for superheroes? Well, I guess
Well,
her
not
family
many
her
survive.
family has. Does her family have money?
No.
No, not really. No,
No.
he's a cop.
I think if you're in the Batman family though, which she clearly is, then she would get some of the
Like
Wayne
Bruce.
money.
Bruce is going to take care of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Um, yeah, what's yours?
No,
I
yeah. Speaking
showed
of
you
Bruce Wayne,
mine. Sorry, we talked
yeah, I'll
about.
show. I'm not baiting that one. Okay, this is Marvel feature
Oh, fun.
number
I love these.
number 8. This was a recent purchase over. I hate this part. Okay, here we go. Do this, Jeremy. There we go. Ant-Man, astonishing Ant-Man. Um, this is not anything too special. Just a cool book. It's a common cover. It is from
Yeah.
March 1972. It's a Jim Starlin, Mike Esposito. There are only 3 original pages in here. Everything else is a
Yeah.
reprint from Tales to Astonish number 44. and here's what makes it special: the origin of Ant-Man and Wasp, and this is the Hank Jan Ant-Man and Wasp.
Yeah,
So,
that is neat.
a bit of a busy cover, but I actually do like the layout. And I know you love this because there's
Miniatures. Yeah.
miniature people
Yeah.
writing ants and nickels and whatnot, but really cool. And the fun part is it is a reprint of Tales to Astonish 44, as I said. And guess who drew that? The one, the only Jack Kirby. So
Yeah.
the majority of the interior art is Jack Kirby. Great book. It was really stinking affordable. Still is.
Yeah.
Um, I read it. It was a fun read.
And you said it was Marvel feature? Is that number 8?
Yeah, Marvel feature number 8 from 1972.
Wow. Okay.
Love it. Love it. Okay, Andy, I'm ready. What's it worth? You said I have no shot at this, so challenge accepted.
Yeah. All right. So this is
Oh, come
Suspense
on.
Comics number 3. This is like a grail.
Oh, that's dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
This is
that
from
has yeah.
a
Oh my
lot.
gosh. Okay.
So this is from
Whew. Okay.
April of 1944.
Okay.
So it's poignant. It's a 4.0 graded book. It's
Okay.
sold on July 9th. It's an Alex
Okay.
Schomburg cover.
Oh
Uh,
wow. Okay.
LB
Jeez.
Cole
Let's
does a
check.
lot of
It's checking.
yeah,
LB Cole, isn't it?
yeah, he does some interior.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's fairly rare.
Yeah. It's
So
bondage. It's good girl. It's
Nazi cover.
KKK
Yeah.
Nazi.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why this number's in my head. I think it's too high. I think I'm too high,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm gonna go $8,000.
Okay, $156,000. So it was the second
Hundred $156,000.
yeah, it was the second highest sale on the auction, I think, with just the comic books. Like the Action Comics number 1 was the highest, and then that was the second highest. And it included 2 Batman number 1s, I believe, in the auction. So
Wow. Well,
that
you
was
were
it.
right. I had no shot at that one.
That's a huge grail comic book.
Wow.
But yeah. But good, it's brave of you to just throw out a number.
I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you showed it. Let's just go with that.
It's
Andy,
a cool
what
book.
the heck?
Yeah.
It is. It is. It's a great book. Great colors. Love it.
Yeah.
Uh, I I'd pay 8,000 for it, but that's it. That's my
What's
hard
what
stop.
you got?
Jeez Louise. What the heck's in
Ugh.
your inbox, buddy? What do you got?
Oh yeah. So this was we talked about it last week and I will show you the Batman
And
362
who's
and
on
the
the cover?
Riddler.
Hey,
This is
there
the
it is.
Riddler.
That's who that is.
This is a Canadian price variant version. I have many copies, but I finally got a Canadian price variant.
Dude, this is the third issue that you've talked about this book. I just want to point that
Yeah,
out.
that's
I love it.
that's great.
We
Yeah.
are all so excited to finally see this book. But you have talked about it 3 times now.
Oh yeah, I'll throw some extra information. So this book has been graded um by CGC. The non-Canadian price variant versions have been graded 146 times. The Canadian price variants have been graded 4 times.
Wow.
There is a 1 9.8, 1 9.6, which is this one, and then 2 9.4s. So it's
I mean,
not a key book.
I know I'm giving you a hard time, but it is a dang beautiful book. I mean, if you're going to talk about a
Yeah.
book 3 times on a comic book YouTube channel, that's not a bad one to go with.
It's cool. And and it's
I like the purple. I think it's purple. The purple Batman shadow. That's kind of above him. It's above the Batman title. There, you see the
oh
cowl
yeah, yeah,
right
okay.
there. That's just kind
Yeah.
of a cool little shadow in the background there.
Yeah, I have such fun sentimental attachment to this comic book. But
Yeah,
yeah, it is a cool and it was like I had it as an adult, but I only had it like without a cover. So I
gotcha.
didn't and like I'm probably missing the first wrap. So I
Gotcha.
was at a Goodwill waiting for my wife to get done with church or whatever, and I was going through the rack and I saw it. I was like, "Oh, I had this. This is the book. This is the cover." I had forgotten exactly what it looked like, and then I saw it. I was like, "Oh, wow."
There is so much to unpack in that story.
Okay.
Your wife is at church,
Yes. Hmm.
and you're
This,
impatiently waiting for her to be done
this is like
as
you and when
you're
you're.
as you're at as you're at Goodwill.
Do you remember that?
when,
Do you remember that
when
time
is
when we
she
were at
done?
Les Schwab in Centralia?
Oh, I don't think we should go there. That's for another time. Hold on, we're sticking with you, buddy.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. My deflection didn't work. So no, like my wife is a she won state in
what
for sorry, in high school
in church?
she won state in high school for her singing abilities. And so she like
Oh, okay,
performs and does
okay.
stuff at church.
So,
So she
so
was like
your wife was performing
she's
at
talented.
church,
She was she was at a
and
practice.
you. Okay,
It was
okay. I thought
practice
she was.
after church,
Okay,
so she was at
okay,
church. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So I thought
Yeah.
she was performing, and you're like, "Hey,
I'm
go
out.
break a leg, go break a leg." It turns out it was good I didn't come because I found a
Yeah.
comic book that I really
Yeah.
wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have that, you have a lesser grade. So now you have three of that book.
Oh, I have at least three of it. Yeah.
You have the one you found at Goodwill,
That one.
the one you bought a while, like a month ago, and then now your CPV. That's an awesome Goodwill find.
Yeah, no, it was great. And it
Okay.
wasn't in good shape. It was very beat up, the Goodwill one,
Those,
but I was like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta get this."
usually if you're buying a comic book at Goodwill,
It's pretty
there is a
bad.
there's a 99% chance that it is a low grade book.
Yeah.
And I have half a collection of comic books to prove that. All right. Well, I'm glad, Andy. I take it all back. Yeah, I think you should have led with my wife was at rehearsal. That's why I went to
Rehearsal.
Goodwill.
I'm sorry.
But
She was at the
but
church building at rehearsal.
yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
performing.
I mommy goes to work
All
and
right,
I go
let's
to
go.
church.
I have an inbox too. Um,
Okay,
I
good.
bought this when my wife had a performance that I decided not to. No, um, this is a great book. This is from 2010, Captain America 601.
Ooh,
Here's what I love about this book.
that's
That is my
cool.
man, Gene Colan. 2010.
Really?
He is wrapping it up as an artist. The interiors, um, you got to go grab this book. You're folks, if you're
601.
watching this, yeah, 601. If you're watching this, if you have a decent local comic book shop, they have three of these right now.
Hmm.
I know there's a second printing, but the first printing is not hard to find. Or go on eBay. If you're a Gene Colan fan, you need this book. The
Hmm.
interior art, it's almost, I want to use the word at times gruesome, not gore wise, but just, and I think it was intentional by Colan, where just his drawing style almost kind of leaves these characters that it's almost like a sketch,
Hmm.
but not. And then it's a pseudo painted
Oh.
interiors.
So
It is,
he did the cover and the interior?
and the interiors. Yeah,
Whoa.
he did the inks,
Who-
or excuse me, the pencils.
Okay.
It is, Andy. You got to get it,
Okay. Yeah.
because I know you like Gene Colan. It's awesome. It's Ed Brubaker on his run there with Captain America, 2010.
Yeah.
It won an Eisner. It won an Eisner for best single issue / one shot. So
Wow.
just a one shot kind of. I mean, it's 601, but it's a single story. Gene Colan was not on that run.
Right.
He was just kind of the guest artist, and again, towards the end of his, not that, it wasn't the end of his life, but
Yeah.
definitely one of the last few books that he worked on.
Okay.
And anyone that's any kind of Gene Colan fan, or even Captain America fan, you got to get Captain America 601, 601.
Yeah.
Great book.
I feel
And
like
the story is great too. Obviously, it won
yeah,
an
yeah.
Eisner. So Cap and Bucky, it's World War II. I don't want to give
Yeah.
it away. And the issue, though, like you're reading along, and it's kind of, Brubaker did a pretty good job. It's his style. And it's like, okay, it's a Cap and Bucky in World War II. And then all of a sudden, there's vampires. So I'm
Oh,
like,
spoiler! Don't say anymore. I want to read
yeah.
this.
Well, it's early on in it. It's early on in it,
Okay.
and so I'll leave it at that. But I'm just kind of humming along with a Captain America story, and then all of a sudden
You're like,
there's a
whoa.
vampire, and at first I'm like, no, and I'm like, wait a second, a Gene Colan and a vampire story.
Oh, that
I'm
makes
in.
yeah.
I'm in. Let's
Yeah,
do this.
Dracula. Yeah. That's
Dracula,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. So another huge shout to Gene Colan, obviously in our show here, but I think we're at our review time. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. I feel like
Yeah.
almost everyone's a Gene Colan fan. They just don't know it. Like
I
because he's so
wrong.
ubiquitous. This
Yeah,
is like you don't realize.
you're not wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Andy, yeah. Uh, last
Review.
week we
Yeah.
did a review of Phantom Zone #1.
Yeah.
Tell our listeners here what we're reviewing this week.
So this week we're reviewing my favorite comic book, which is Incredible Hulk 284. So
Right over your shoulder there, folks. Right
yeah,
over your
one over there,
shoulder.
one
Oh,
over
there's
there,
yeah.
one over here. I got a couple.
Wow.
Um,
I have my copy here that I bought. Mine's the I think right CPV. I got a CPV.
you did, yeah. Canadian
Yeah.
price variant. That's
Yeah.
awesome. This is a Canadian price variant too.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
this one, I think is a Mark Jewelers. I ended up accidentally
Man,
buying a Mark Jeweler.
I I love how much you love this book. And I'm excited to review it. Now,
Yeah,
I'm ready to give a little bit of a recap. Are you
please
good with
do.
that, or do you want to recap it?
No, I think
Okay. All right. I'm gonna re-
yeah, you're
yeah,
better at
I'll
recapping.
save any kind of criticism or feedback or opinion. Just want to give folks listening kind of the recap of the story if you don't know it.
Okay,
We start off with Hulk and
Omnivac.
She-Hulk and
Yeah,
Omnivac. Yep, Hulk, She-Hulk, Omnivac. The Avengers are missing, and Hulk and She-Hulk need to find them. Turns out there's some sort of portal in a table. So I like to call this story, I think it's called Follow the Leader, but I'm going to call this story Hulk and She-Hulk's Excellent Adventure. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, Bill and
because
Ted instead of Bill and Ted.
because it
Well,
definitely was that.
it
So
predates
they
that. It predates Bill and Ted's,
oh
but yeah.
no, it absolutely predates that by a few years, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So they go into this thing, and it's not a phone booth, but it's a table. So here we go.
Yeah.
Um, and they're time traveling. So their first stop, they're in World War II, like in the war. They're in Germany or somewhere, and it's
Yeah.
Cap and Bucky. These pages, and I
The
wrote
splash
that
pages. Yeah.
I want to do the recap. So hold on to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about those splash pages, but let's hold on because those are sensational. So their first stop is Cap and Bucky, and it's not spoiler. Cap dies, but then another Cap comes. I didn't quite understand that bit, but anyway.
Well,
So then now they have Cap, and
they got transported before he died.
that's right.
Shells came in
That's
and
right.
they disappeared before. Yeah. But go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying there. So now they have Cap and Bucky, and they transport again, and this time they end up in the Sherwood Forest with Hawkeye and Iron Man. Hawkeye is Robin Hood,
Hmm.
and they each time they kind of have to convince these Avengers, hey, you're actually an Avenger.
Yeah.
They wise up Iron Man and Hawkeye, so now it's Cap, Bucky, She-Hulk, Hulk, Hawkeye, Iron Man, and they transport the next transport. They're during the Viking Age, and there's Thor,
Yeah.
and again they convince Thor. A little bit of a battle between Hulk and Thor. You gotta love that.
Yeah.
And then the last transport is they're all together now. Thor's joined them. They're on Earth, but it's like the beginning of time, and all of this is the leader. The leader is the one controlling all this, and basically he's trying to restart the world so that everyone obeys him and follows him.
They're all
He's
gonna be
got
green.
he's got Captain Marvel and Wasp under his control.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, so cover your ears. The leader dies. I'm sure he comes back, right?
It's permanent
And
death.
then I do love the last page at the very end. Hulk kicks some butt. Hulk got all the Avengers back together and back
Oh yeah.
to Earth. And the last line, I can't remember who it is, but they're saying, we really should have Hulk be an Avenger. And Hulk's kind of like, but, and then we'll find out next issue.
Yeah. Will he or
Okay,
won't he?
so that's the story.
Yeah.
Andy, start. I know you love this book, folks. He's
Yeah.
already given it 5 stars out of 5. That's all right. Keep listening.
Yeah. Cool. That's gonna be 5 stars.
Now's a great time to subscribe because you're so enthralled. Andy, tell me what you love about this story, because I know the cover's not the best part for you, but what about this book?
I feel like there's plot holes in this story, which is fine.
There's major plot holes in this story.
There's major plot holes, but it is fun. It is. We're gonna go back in time, and we're gonna be, because Hawkeye is kind of a Robin Hood guy, and Iron Man's kind of an iron, like,
he was a knight.
It's a knight. He's kind of a knight. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the part though where, like, if you're a knight, how come you're flying?
Yeah, and he's like, oh.
Iron Man's response is, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I like that Matlow's like, I need to explain some reality here, but at the same time, it's a comic book. It's ridiculous.
It is a comic book.
It's not real.
That's right.
But I thought that was actually very clever. Of like, if you're a knight, then why are you doing flying?
Yeah,
I don't know.
So for me, this is like what comic books are. Like the epitome of a comic book is like really cool pictures and a story that kind of makes it work, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It's an adventure, and it's a fun adventure.
Uh-huh.
It's like, and I very easily suspend my, suspension of belief or disbelief or whatever. Like, when I read and enjoy like a movie or a book, my critical mind I don't point to things. So like the first,
you gotta give up on logical explanations in this issue.
I didn't see any holes in the plot of this comic book until I reread it 2 days ago for this, and I was thinking about it. I was like, but how's that work? How's the timing of the organ of the time traveling work? And
I think that's on par for this time frame. And I felt it ended way too rushed. Like, he rushed the ending. Which was, like, I thought, kind of disappointing. Like, you actually got a good thing going, then all of a sudden, Hulk is at a church organ. No, that's how he starts. He's at the organ.
Yeah. No,
that's all I could hear when he was sitting at that organ.
It's really funny how quickly it wraps up, and it's like almost it's just the journey. It's not the destination, it's the journey to get the Avengers. And then the battle with the leader is one page.
Yeah, and it's so cheesy. Like, the leader falls into, I don't know, what is that, hot lava?
Yeah.
And Iron Man's like, we have to save him. And they're like, why would you do that? And he's like, well, at least we can all say that I tried, but I'm not jumping in this lava.
I tried.
Everyone saw that I was like, oh, it's lava. I'm not gonna do it. But
you got to tell me what's your so mine's 5-star. I love the art.
I mean, we're a couple of homers right now on this one. It's beautiful, and you started to show it, and I stopped you. But the best part of the art. So every time they time travel.
This is a splash page at the beginning of the book.
Yeah. That's the big one. But then the 4 times that they time travel, there's a whole splash page, and it is beautiful. It is a work of art. Yeah, there's the World War II Captain America,
Sal Buscema, and Joe Sinnott.
those 4 pages alone, especially the first three, the World War II, the Sherwood Forest, and the um,
Yeah.
Viking ship that they're on, those are posters. Those are works of art. You could tell. I'm trying to remember who drew this. Andy, who were the pencils?
Sal Buscema
Bashima, that's right.
and
Sal
Joe
Bashima,
Sinnott.
yeah,
Joe Sinnott.
and
Yeah.
Sanat, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that those 4 pages alone make this
That's
book worth it. Yeah,
last of the splash
I think
page.
you need to break those out of those shells.
The
You need to see those pages. They're
the one.
beautiful. Yeah, get
I
it
mean,
out of there.
I have
What?
floppy ones
What?
of.
I wanted more time travel. I
Yeah.
wanted I wanted him to keep going. I would have been okay if it's like cliffhanger by the next issue. We're going to keep time traveling. Those were awesome. I
Yeah.
thought actually he really balanced out the story with those. I think each time travel was like 2 or 3 pages
Yeah.
worth. And yeah, it's totally rushed a little bit, but I think if he would have gone on at each time travel spot, it probably would have kind of gotten boring. But I thought the
Yeah.
balance of how long it's going to take us to convince them who they are was great. But then the ending was just so
It was rushed. Yeah.
like, this is awesome. This is cool. Yep. There's some holes in the story, and then the leader's dead, and Hulk should be an Avenger
I think.
because of this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that time traveling was so cool. And now we're just back.
Back to normal.
is is no one going to talk about this? That we were just time traveling?
It's the same normal day in the office. Yeah, and
So
if I
here are my questions.
remember,
I have questions
yeah,
for you
uh-huh.
though.
Yeah, yeah.
And this might just be a lack of my knowledge. So clearly, Hulk, somewhere along the way prior to this issue, no longer speaks like Hulk Smash. Like he is
Yeah.
talking normal.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that, and
It's
I think this is an
Bill
over
Mantlo.
analysis.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
so Omnivac kept calling the Hulk Doctor Banner,
Hmm.
like it
Okay.
was always Doctor Banner, and then
Yeah.
She Hulk just called him cousin,
Yeah.
and he was oh, I just drew a complete blank.
He's all three of those things.
Jennifer
Jennifer
Walter, right?
Walters. Yeah.
Yeah, he's calling her Jennifer. He's not calling her cousin. So I was just kind of, I don't know. I think I got distracted by, why are they not calling him Hulk? What am I missing? So I think that
Hmm.
might just be me. I'm missing something. But then the rest of when they were doing their journey, they were calling him. Well, they didn't
Hulk.
always recognize who he was, but
Yeah.
they were calling him Hulk by the end of the issue. So that was it. Um, I think that, yeah. So that was uh, the Hulk and She Hulk Excellent Adventure
Yeah.
review of
If you're gonna give
Hulk
it a
284.
stars,
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, you do. What are yours? What's
oh,
yours?
5. I can't. There's
5. Okay.
for like because it
Um.
is clearly for me it's an enjoyable book, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're adding on a star just personally.
sure.
I so last week Phantom Zone I gave a 3. I enjoyed this more than Phantom Zone, but not much more, and for different ways.
Mm,
So you're my friend. I'll give it three
sure.
and a half. I'll give
Okay.
it 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
Um, I think, yeah, I think towards the end he's just got to make pages, and it's like, oh, I got to cut this off.
Yeah, no, I think that's
Otherwise I got to add 4 more pages,
well, I don't
and we
think
don't
you
do
get to
that.
add pages. You
You
just
don't. Yeah, you don't.
you gotta
You
fit
don't.
the story in where it can go.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it was good, but overall, yeah, I'd read this book again. I can tell why you like it, but for
Yeah.
me, again, it was those 4 splash pages of when they were time
Yeah.
traveling. I was like, that was dang cool.
Yeah, that was well, and so I guess when I read a comic book, like when I was reading the Phantom Zone last week, I was thinking about how it'd feel like reading this book as a kid. And I was like, "What? This isn't a book for a kid," which it probably wasn't. But
No, but I think
um,
you're probably digging the art as a kid in this one. You're seeing the
Yeah,
World
that's
War
all
II, you're
those
seeing the Sherwood
slashers. Yeah,
Forest, you're seeing a lot through there.
yeah,
Um, no, I love it. I love it. Hey, listeners, tell us what you think. If you've read this book, how many stars do you give it? What do you like about
yeah.
it?
Pick it
Or
up.
it's not, it's a common comic cover book, so you can snag it for, I mean, shoot, you can get it for less than $10, no
Yeah,
more than 20 if you don't care what condition it's in.
yeah,
So fun book. I liked it.
yeah.
Andy, I don't know if we have time for your tour. If
It'll
we're
be
if
quick.
we're okay,
Yeah, we're
let's
we're
do it.
running out. But I got these at Half Price Books this last week. Jack Cross.
Nice.
I got the whole run. It's very graphic.
I don't. Who wrote
But
those? I don't know.
Warren Ellis.
Is that Keanu Reeves on the cover?
It looks like it a little bit, yeah. But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun read. But it was a little graphic, so if you got kids or whatever, don't read it. But it was fun. I was glad I read it. I was like, oh, that's cool. So, anyways,
Cool. Good. That's a great find. I love
yeah,
half price.
yeah, yeah.
I
Half Price
miss it.
was great. Okay, and as Ringo Starr says, peace, love, peace, love.